was talking to Ovid before we started here. He said, look, it's all very simple. You guys, we give our talks, we do these things, but really, as soon as you start, you make up your mind of what you want to be and where you want to go. You're there. Trust your inner guidance. How important is that? And how important am I realizing how important it is? Guidance, it's coming at you all the time. And the more you realize it, the more it comes, and the more you realize it's coming. I mean, look, think of this. 50 years ago, I met his mother and father in a course that we were doing. And it was called PROBE, Programmed Release of Balanced Effectiveness. And, you know, we paid money to go to that course and met these wonderful people called the Oliphants. And then 50 years later, here I meet their son. I mean, is that guided? Is that guided or not? That's guided. You know, we wanted to get into unity, and I thought, and we went to the Unity Church one day, and, you know, saw it in the phone book or something, and we got there, and it was all boarded up. There was nobody there. There was no way to get to it. So I thought, well, I'll just have to let that go. But then I walked in here to go to the Swedish thing, and there's a sign that says, upstairs, Unity. So you can't get away from it. Guidance it just takes you there where you want to go. Just indicate a little bit, and you'll be there. So it's kind of fun. Well, I'm way off subject. Mindfulness. I've read thick books on mindfulness, but this is only a couple of paragraphs. But this is the essence. Take time for solitude in nature if you can. Solitude, quiet. I want to go back to this calmness and being quiet with yourself. Yogananda thought that was a big deal. Calmness. I've got this big chart on my wall. I've told you about this. I'll tell you again. It's a beautiful scene of peace. And it says, calmness is the living breath of God's immortality in you. I never knew what it meant at first, but I guess you guys are smart. You figured it out right away. But notice the breath going in and out when you're in solitude. The breath. You think, well, the breath, you do it so often, you never give it a thought. But breath is a very big deal. I mean, at your last minute, you're going to breathe in, and then you're going to breathe out, and that's it. That's breath. And whenever people talk about meditation, or they talk about enlightenment, or anything like that, it's always something to do with breath coming in and out. Breathe in deeply and slowly, and perceive inside of yourself that divine mystery, deep level of beingness. You know, you get calm, you get quiet, and you can't do this unless you're calm. You gotta get calm, just like Yogananda said. Get calm, be at peace. Choose peace. Try this too. You wake up, don't move. Just let the thoughts that are right first coming up in your mind, and just look at them gently. Just let them pass and look at them gently. Don't get all involved. Don't get all attached. Don't make melodramas out of them. Just savor the moment and mentally travel over the issues. And then just lightly touch them, and then bring awareness of any emotions you feel. Emotions are very funny little things. They're like little animals that are frightened. And if you stare at them, you don't say anything. You don't judge them. You don't do anything. You just look at them. Just look at them. They'll be afraid. They'll turn away and run away. That's how you get rid of them. Where was I? And then look for perspective or insights that you'll get by doing this early in the morning. It's a great idea. Okay, that's it on mindfulness. We covered that. It's a 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 hour thing, but we covered it in about a minute. Consider this too. Everybody's talking about enlightenment. Everybody's got a definition. Well, I've got 3 more for you today. Enlightenment is treating all tasks as opportunities to know God. Think about that. Everything that you do, every single thing that you do, washing the dishes, talking to somebody, it's an opportunity to know God. We got to burn that into our mind. Enlightenment, another definition, is choosing peace. Choose peace. Like Ovid says, just choose it. Just believe you got it, and it'll be there. Enlightenment is being detached. Why do we bring that into it? Detached is big. It's big. If you get involved with the melodramas in your life, and it screws you up. It gets you all buzzed up. But if you're detached, you keep it at arm's length. Keep it at arm's length, and just look at it. Let it be. Be here now. We've read books on it. We've talked about it. We've had other examples with the untethered soul of how to be here now. This is that much in here. Pretend that this is the first and the last time that you'll experience this experience, whatever the experience is you're having at the moment. And then savor it. Savor it, because these experiences all are the bits that you put together that make your life. And once they're gone, they're gone. And catch yourself wishing to be someplace else. Like right now, for example. If you're wanting to be, I don't allow it in here. You got to be here with me. Bring yourself back to appreciate the present moment. That's big. It's simple. It's big. When someone's boring, you're talking to them and they're boring, you might be judgmental and say, well, this guy's whatever, and you judge him and whatever. But instead, try this. Spend a few minutes loving that person for what he is, for who he is. Yeah, be aware of the here and now. Do you remember the book, Paradise? I think it was called Paradise, Aldous Huxley. He was on an island called Paradise, and they had taught the mynah birds to say, here and now, here and now, here and now, wherever they were going back and forth in the jungle. And they were just keeping everybody aware, and then they'd say, aware, aware, stay awake, 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 awake. That's what we've got to do with ourselves. Be in the here and now, and stay awake. And we want to cherish every moment, and I want to give you a little mystical saying that will just drive that home. That cherishing the moment. The moving finger writes, and having writ, moves on. It's gone. Nor all your piety, nor your wit, shall lure it back to cancel half a line. Can't change it. Once you let it out of your mouth. Nor all your tears wash out a word of it. Omar Khayyam, in Antiquity. Beautiful, beautiful little poem. John Donne, 1600s. In the old days, in the villages, the churches used to clang, clang, clang when somebody died. And he brought up this saying in one of the books he wrote or whatever. Never send to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. Yeah, it does, because it's a short time here. We got to cherish every moment and get as much done with every moment as you can, because it's hard to get here to Earth, I'm told, by the books that we've read together. It's hard to get here. Once you get here, use it. Here's another thing that's been around for a few hundred years that's full of wisdom. I could call it a prayer, and I could call it a mystical statement. St. Francis of Assisi. I do it every night. I say it every night. There's so much in here that I say this even before I say the Lord's Prayer. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. First thing you ask for is peace, because you're not going to go anywhere until you got that. Go for peace. Where there's hatred, let me sow love. And then I put my own little thing in here. LLL. Remember? Lather, love, lavishly. So you've got this love inside of you. Spread it around. Because just see yourself when you're spreading it around, it's like energy going out. And it is. It's energy going out. And the more you charge that with some pressure behind of loving. Where there's injury, pardon. Not get them back. Pardon. Where there's doubt, just simply faith. Where there's despair, hope. You see despair in people, just try to send hope to them. Give them hope. Wherever you can, talking to them or just thinking about it. Where there's darkness, light. Where there's sadness, joy. And then he turns the whole thing on his head and gives it to you again. O divine master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console. Yeah, you want to console others rather than worry about whether you're consoled. That's what he's saying. Don't worry about whether you're understood. Try to understand the other. Try to love rather than look for love. Don't look for love. It'll come to you naturally. For it is in giving that we receive. Yeah, all of these things. That's what we're saying. If you're giving, you'll be receiving all these things. You'll be receiving consolement, understanding, and love without even trying. It's in pardon that we are pardoned. And then he hits it right on the head. And it is in dying to self, that we are born to eternal light. What is that? It's getting rid of the ego. And Ovid and I were just talking, and he was telling me how important that was to get rid of the ego. So every time before I come to one of these meetings, I call Ovid and say, "Are you coming today?" And I like him in the environment because it's a good environment. He's been there. He's touching the hymns. And what about love? Let's talk about love. When you're sending love, a good time to do it is when you read the paper or you look at CNN and you see all this simple whatever it is, it's going around. It's terrible stuff. Just send love there. Send love to the people that are suffering and the ideas that are wrong, and try to straighten it out. When you meet someone that's suffering, just say a silent prayer for them. Instead of getting into their sad too. They're sad and they're suffering. No, just say a prayer for them. It's something positive you can do. Be a force of love, period. 4 words, be a force of love. And then you're sending it out like waves all the time. That's what you are. Judgment, revenge, anger, hatred. Simply say, I don't want to think this way anymore, and I refuse to allow it. Banish it from your mind. Banish those things from your mind. You don't want to go there. There's some old habits there from pre-existing patterns. PPPs. I learned that with his mother. Tell those you love how you feel. I mean, I don't know how many people die before they do that, and they probably on the other side, they're just so sad that they didn't say what they felt. Write a poem to your beloved. It's so easy. I mean, even I can do it, and I can't write poetry. I don't know anything about poetry. I never read it. But Roses are red, violets are blue, blobbity, 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 boo. You can do that. It's so easy. Yeah, that's what Anne gets. And she loves it, rather than buying some innocuous thing in a drugstore that somebody made up. And when you meet mean-spirited people, and every once in a while, there's one around, a mean-spirited person, just send love to them. And you know what? It'll neutralize them. It's just like putting a base with an acid. Emerson said, the measure of mental health is to find good everywhere. He's like he's saying, send love. That's what he's saying. That's what Emerson said. Bright guy. And another bright guy was Shakespeare. And he said with mercy, blessed is he that gives and he that takes. You know, that's a lot in one sentence. Be detached. We talked about it. Be detached. Enjoy activities for the sheer joy of the action. Just get in there for the sheer joy of everything that you're doing. And never mind. Just stay detached. Don't get in the melodrama, okay? Be independent of the good opinions of others. You don't want to have people dragging you around the nose with their opinions, telling you how you should live your life. No, 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 no. Just do what you do. Do what you do. It's your purpose to do it. And just say that. This is my life. Tell me if I'm getting too excited. Truth. Truth is another thing. Live the truth that resonates within you. And you've got a way to check it. Just put it down here with your heart. If it resonates perfectly with your heart, then that is your truth. Somebody else might have another truth. That's okay, that's theirs. And don't try to tell them how to live their life. Passion. I want to tell you about passion. I've always lived my life with a little bit of passion. And don't be afraid to do it. Give yourself permission to be passionate. Enthusiastic. Thuzo is spirit. So you put spirit into what you're doing. That's passion. When the inner critics come up and say, oh no, don't do that, you'll be out on a limb, or people are going to laugh at you, whatever they say, look here, wait in the lobby. I'll talk to you later. Just put that guy away and go and be passionate. Judgment. How could we possibly judge anyone when you know that each of us is a spark of God inside of us? Every person has a spark of God. We all know that, don't we, in unity? We know that. That's perfect. It's loving. It's kind. It's just shining. That's what we're looking at when we're looking at that person. They all come in different shapes and sizes and costumes and facades, but that's not the feel. That's just the outer experience. And when you die, you let all that go, and then there goes the soul. Okay. I asked you to remember that your body, when it's cared for, gives you a greater opportunity to advance in spirit. So take care of your body, honor it, love it, take care of it. If not for your egoic values, but just because you need it to stay on this path. If the only prayer that you ever have is thank you, yeah, the author here says, it's enough. Thank you's enough. Say it all the time. Whenever you see anything to be thankful for, it's wonderful. It's a good feeling. Yeah, complaining souls sometimes complain even if they're in paradise. And people that are happy and loving are that all the time. Embrace the world as a gift. The world is a gift. And the more you start seeing it as a gift, the more grateful you'll be. And you'll start to feel blessed. Isn't that a nice idea? You're walking around and you're feeling blessed. That's Ovid. When I talk to him, he feels blessed all the time. And he tells me in no uncertain terms that he's been blessed. We don't have to wait for the experiences he's had. We can do it ourselves. Be childlike. Remember to be childlike. You know, the heart of a child is divine love. I never fail when we're going through the park and somebody's pushing a pram around. I go over to the mother and say, can I have a little look at him? And so they love that. So I go in and I have a look at him. And I just look into those eyes, and there he is with one foot in there and one foot here. And I've got that beautiful advantage of seeing that and feeling that. That's what children are. And notice something about them. They laugh a lot. And notice something about yourself. You have a little child in you. Let that child come out and play. In other words, let yourself be silly once in a while. Don't worry about what other people think. Just be silly. And always carry a small smile around inside. I mean, why not? You've been given eternal life. You're given all these things from God all the time. Yes, carry a small smile around. And even visualize yourself dancing like Snoopy. Dancing like Snoopy. And if visualization isn't enough, do what I do. I turn on the 50s music when everybody's out of the house, and I turn it up loud, and I start dancing. And if anybody saw me, they'd think, I better close the blinds because my neighbor will see me jumping around. No. Feel that joy like Snoopy. And, I don't know if it was my wife Ann or me or whatever, but we do this together. Be a fun kid, we say. We said it when we were coming down here today. Said, well, it's going to be a great day. Are you going to be a fun kid today? You know, we'll say that to each other. Be a fun kid. I love those words. They're wonderful. It gets you tuned in with being like a child. Visualization is power. Try this. Visualize yourself sitting under a shower that's just coming down. Not of rain, but of energy. Just coming down all around you. And then breathe in. Remember breath? Breathe in the energy. And then exhale all your tension and all your negativity. And then say, let there be light. After you've done that a few times. And feel the light within, and then see it surrounding others. Listen to your heart before you speak. Try to tame your ego daily. Okay, here it is. Is what I'm about to say for the purpose of making someone else wrong or to prove myself special? Ask that question, and then you'll have the ego by the throat. Decide to be kind and loving, period. That's all. Just be kind and loving. The way I learned that is from Anne. She tells me that if I'm ever missing the point, be kind and loving. And form a new habit. A new habit. Choose to give ego a less dominant role in your life. Well, that's pretty much my talk, but the next talk is in the pipeline, and it's called The Direct Path. And the reason I'm excited about it is because it's a simpler path for meditation. It's a simpler path for getting to know God. And when you get to be my age, you need something that works fast. The direct path. And he's got lots of good ideas in there about how to talk to God. No, like we learned when we were doing conversations with God, how to listen to God and hear all the things he was telling us about how it's going to be on the other side. But, you know, how to talk to God, how to ask God for things. And he's got some beautiful ways to do that. There's one other idea I had. I'd like to hear everybody's story here. I mean, you people are my guiding lights, and I love you. And I'd like to each of you has a story, and we'll get to know each other and love each other more. Well, I better shut up. Thank you.